Good morning, guys. This is the last day of Wispapalooza 2016, and I believe this is our first IPTV provider that we've ever interviewed here. They've got a pretty interesting offering. So Frankie, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, the company, how you got to where you are, and about the product.
Well, Rodeo and his parent company have been around for a better part of the last 30 years. I've been doing all kinds of ISP-related things. I've been involved in the cable television business for the last 25 years. I've been in broadcast television and in radio, and so I understand video and understand what it takes to license it. And that was our primary focus in putting together the IPTV solution for the wireless ISP market. And so what we did is we put together Rodeo Television. Using my experience and my connections within the cable television business, we were able to license all kinds of networks so that we can deliver them directly to WISPs all around the country.
Okay. The two biggest barriers have been the legal licensing, contractual stuff, and then just the costs of getting it put together. And I know I looked for a fiber to the home project. I was looking at $1 to $2 million to be able to build out a full HD head end. That was half the cost of the entire project, just to add the TV component. Whereas this is a much better value.
Right, we have a super head end that does all the work for the WISP. So we're encoding all of the content except for any locally ingested off-air signals that they want to provide in their marketplace, which we can handle for them as well, including the retransmission consent agreements. But we're doing all the work. We provide a transport to them in a VPN tunnel of a multicast stream, including all the content that they want, including whatever channels that they think their customers would want to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, tell us kind of how it works. You mentioned that VPN tunnel, multicast. How does it get from you to the TV?
Well, we are picking the stuff up from the programmer in whatever method that they deliver it to us. Some delivers on fiber, other delivers via satellite, it all depends. And we've got a super head end facility where we're transcoding all of that. We're also encrypting it. One of the key pieces of this whole thing was encryption. We needed to create an encrypted multicast stream from the source, where we transcode all those video streams all the way down to this set-top box where we decrypt it. Okay. So we signed a contract with Verimatrix, and so we're Verimatrix encrypted from beginning to end. Okay. Nobody can watch any TV unless they get the key on a set-top box that is authorized and on our network, or your network in this case, if you're a WISP. And so once we were able to get that figured out, we were able to then provide this kind of end-to-end solution to get down to your customer site. Okay. And every time you change a channel, all we're doing at the set-top box is we're saying, hey, I'm going to look at this PID, and I'm going to go and get this stream now. Which is inside of the multicast. So you're not doing any point-to-point stuff here, one-to-one. This is all one-to-many. It's like a broadcast. And as a result, we can be very intelligent at how we're managing a WISP's bandwidth consumption on all of their nodes, on every leg of their network. And let's face it, we've got some serious challenges out there competing in the cable television business with turning up their 100 megabit cable modems, right? Sure. So we wanted to make sure that we could deliver video with as little consumption of bandwidth as possible. And so in this case, this channel here, we're watching Stars Kids and Family right now, is 1.15 megabits per second. And that's all we're consuming right now on this network, 1.15 megabits, because this is the only channel we're watching. And we are able to manage that through routing protocols that only send the channels that people are watching at that given time on that leg of the network, so that you're using minimum bandwidth.
I think it's a good good point is that, by being multicast, you're really reducing your bandwidth consumption. If a WISP can steer their customers to this service, I mean, they're sure going to have Netflix and Hulu and YouTube, but if they can get them to consume more of their content this way, they're not spending, 1 to 5 megabit per phone or TV or, at a time.
Right. It's shared.
They're sharing it.
Yeah, and here's the other thing that we thought of with regard to the design of the network itself. We wanted to make sure that it wasn't bursty. We wanted to create a nice, level, consistent consumption network-wide so that you could count on it as a WISP as something that was just always going to be there, and you could monitor that as it slowly increased as you added more and more channels, more and more customers.
Sure.
And you can really manage your network a lot better as a result of how that traffic operates on the network.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So,
and then, if there's some big event, you don't have that huge burst of, everybody has to watch it on their website because they cut the cord with, Comcast or whomever. If you can steer them to your service,
sure.
It's an easily calculable, reliable number.
Right. So if you've got 100 customers and it's the Super Bowl and everybody wants to watch the Super Bowl, all 100 set-top boxes, you're still consuming only 1.15 megabits on your network. That's it.
Yeah.
So you're not consuming 120 megabits on your network.
Sure.
So it just makes so much more sense for a WISP to do this kind of a solution. And then you can even offer some HD as a result, even on a WISP that's got some bandwidth constraints. Because we can do a 720 HD stream for about 2.2 to 2.6 megabits per second. If you want to offer the big four networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox with HD, you can now do it as a WISP, and you're not going to, eat up all your internet bandwidth doing it.
Sure. In the setup, you've got a VPN between you and the WISP,
right?
That carries this encrypted multicast traffic. Then you've got that WISP network that has to be built to support multicast, routing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's delivered through to the set-top box. That's your set-top box, right? You designed that.
We did.
It's not some multi-purpose Roku device.
Exactly. This is our own set-top box. We write the software that runs on it. We designed what chipset went in it. We have a wireless 802.11n version of this set-top box for multiple dwelling units, places where you don't want to run Cat5 wire. It's got outputs on it that include HDMI, standard composite outputs, as well as optical audio out on it for people that are kind of, media center crazy, audiophile folks.
Sure.
And it's got a really intelligent remote control that's easy to use. It's got a big giant button that says OK in the middle and up, down, left, and right. And believe it or not, you can actually type in the channel number.
Okay.
And if you've ever used some of these Roku rip-off deals, it's a disaster to try to find the channel you want to watch.
Yeah,
what a pain in the butt.
It's so different from what you're used to.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to go to channel 26, which they know is the, Weather Channel, whatever.
Sure.
And so we designed this so that it's easy for you to really get what you want as fast as you want it. Our system comes with a fully operational DVR. The DVR is controlled by the WISP, not by the customer. So all of that data is stored at the WISP's NOC in our mini head end.
Okay.
Why? Once again, we're very concerned about bandwidth consumption. Why in God's green earth are we going to let them record a show, watch a show, record another show at the same time, and consume 4 megabits down here on their connection when you can do it all at the server side? You're consuming no network bandwidth at all, and it's storing on your hard drive where you control all of their DVR. That means you can sell them more as they use it.
Okay.
And how much do you really watch your DVR? You probably record a bunch of stuff and you never end up watching it.
Yeah, it's, I think most of them on mine, a quarter is all that I want to watch.
Exactly. So it's intelligent in the way that we're doing the DVR. You can also do VOD. We provide a library of movies. We take care of all the billing issues with regard to VOD, and we send you a portion of that VOD revenue every single month, all the latest movies.
Okay.
You can also do events like MMA and things of that nature, especially for bars and restaurants and people that want to watch these events. And there's some serious money in delivering those on dedicated channels over your network. We're talking $60, $70, $80, $90, $100 for one event. That's a lot of money if 25 people buy that on your WISP for one night of MMA.
Yeah.
And we can provide that on this network as well.
Oh, that's nice. So then, on this, on the set-top box, is it, well, just show us around a little bit, what kind of stuff you can do.
Sure. Yeah, let's show you. Right now we're looking at the guide. You can just go to the full screen and watch your program here as well, and then you just roll right through the channels. Look at how fast the channel changes.
Yeah, that's faster than my DirecTV is.
It's faster than your DirecTV, probably faster than your cable box as well. And the reason it's that fast is because it's multicast, right? It's a multicast stream. And all of the video is available on the set-top box at all times. You're just telling it what PID to go to.
Sure.
And it's pretty straightforward. So you also have the ability on this main screen to control some areas for advertising, for marketing of your other products and services, for advertising in your marketplace. We've got a number of apps that we continue to write that run on the set-top box. Once again, with these apps, you want to be conscious of how much bandwidth they're going to consume, because these are unicast streams that you're going to initiate. If you go into YouTube, you're going to watch a video, it's going to just go to you. So the operator can turn on or off any one of the applications that they want to run on their set-top box based on how they want to manage their network bandwidth. And we're writing apps all the time. If you want to have a custom app written that runs on this screen for your local pizza delivery company, you can push a button and you can order a pizza for $7.99. We could set up that application to run right here on the set-top box. So lots of flexibility. We also have a very easy to use DVR function. Let's go to a channel that actually has something on it. You can DVR any of the channels. We provide all the guide data. So if you go up here to the 16th of October and you want to record Hot Shots Part 2, one of my favorite movies of all time, you just go ahead and record that. And you can record it. It'll set up the recording. It'll record it back at the at your knock, and then you're good to go to watch it. And then you go to your recording screen, and you can find where all of those things are recorded. They'll list right down here in the recording screen. So really easy to record, really easy to navigate. We wanted to make it as familiar as possible, as fast as possible, and as intuitive as we could make it. You can design your own channel lineup based on all the channels we have available right now. We have almost 250 networks available for you to choose from. And like I said earlier, we can also set you up with the big four. We can...
what coast do those come from? Are those my local?
Those are your local channels.
They are my local
You betcha.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, and what's nice on those apps that you mentioned is that I know that my DirecTV box, my TV, my Blu-ray, they all had YouTube. It's still on the screen, but YouTube deprecated that function, and so it's there teasing me, but I can't use it. If I had that, I could still do it.
There you go, yeah, and there's new things that are coming out all the time. We've got dedicated developers that are working on the set-top box all the time. You also get a really nice subscriber management system that comes with the Rodeo IPTV system. You can go in and control every set-top box individually or as a group. You can take a look at each subscriber. You can see what they've been watching. For example, this guy's watched 62 channels over the course of the last 24 hours. This is what they've been watching, ESPN, HBO. You can go in, send them an email, you can do account settings and management, you can reset their set-top box, you can do all kinds of stuff from the subscriber management interface.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff in the middleware that we've built in with the WISP in mind, because we know you don't have the logistics in place to manage subscriber preferences for television. So we had to build the system for you to be able to easily do it. So your CSRs can go in, manage all the set-top boxes yourself. You don't have to call us. There's no, big management place.
Sure.
You can take care of it yourself, easy to do, provision your set-top boxes, send them out in the field, plug them in, turn them on, and you're good to go.
Okay. This seems like a great platform to work with.
We also have a fully functional monitoring on all network segments through the portal as well. We can set up monitoring for you virtually anywhere on your network. So if we want to take one set-top box and we want to say, hey, we're having some trouble down there on that particular node, I want to see how that box is performing, you now have all kinds of network points where you can sample what's happening with your network. And you can see dropouts, you can see graphing, you can do all kinds of cool stuff that you can't currently do because you can't get down to the customer side of what's happening at their computer.
Sure, inside their house.
Right. You can get to the CPE hanging outside, but you can't get down to their laptop and see what it's doing. In this case, you're right at the customer, which is a really nice option to have.
Sure, yeah. If they're complaining of issues, and you're saying, hey, your IPTV box is fine. It must be your inside wireless. You're trying to use your iPad, 200 feet outside your house.
Right. You know how it is.
It's not only an IPTV platform, it's another troubleshooting tool.
It is, and that's another positive to it. There's a lot of logging. We log everything on these boxes. Tremendous amount of log data comes back to your mini head end and is logged on your server. So if there is a problem on the network, if there's some issues, you take a look at that log data and you can say, hey, okay, I see what happened. We lost this node, or we had something happened over in this part of town, and all these set-top boxes were affected, basically.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then kind of shift gears a little bit. One thing that is kind of amazing about this current setup and this video quality is that this set-top box is running through a laptop, through to the hotel Wi-Fi, out over the internet to their office.
Yeah, this is not the solution that we would recommend for you to employ and put out there on your WISP.
Sure.
We have no control over any of this network. It's just basically a wild, scene here.
Yeah.
So.
All you have to mention is that you're running through hotel Wi-Fi, and that it works at all.
Right.
Is amazing.
Well, and the only issue that we really have is if there's jitter anywhere along the line. Because as long as we can maintain 1.15 megabits, we're going to have an SD channel. Jitter is our biggest issue. And with all these networks like this hotel Wi-Fi, Lord knows what all of this stuff is running through.
I'll show you this video is going to take me probably 3 hours to upload.
But here's CBS, and that is a 720 HD channel right there. Look at the quality of that channel.
Working through hotel Wi-Fi.
Right, and see we had a little bit of a glitch there, but it's incredible that it works at all.
Yeah.
But it's robust. The idea here is we understand the challenges that WISPs have. Everything from weather to trees to mountains to whether the sun's shining too darn bright.
Sure.
Whether somebody climbed up on a ladder and kicked the AP with their foot, whatever it is, we understand those challenges. And what we wanted to do was make this something you just stick on your network and it would just work.
Okay.
So long as you maintain your network to your quality control standards.
Sure.
And so there you have it.
Yeah, some WISPs have a challenge with that, but I know that many of them are, they're constantly trying to improve their own internal quality, and those are the guys that are going to want this. So
exactly.
Well.
Yeah, and you can get into this very inexpensively, entry level. If you want to do what we call the Rodeo TV SE version of this, you can deploy one set-top box at a time with no mini head-end requirement. So no major capital purchase out of the box. If you want to try it out, get it out on the network to some of your customers.
Okay.
If you want to start with a MDU, say of 100 customers, and put in a mini head-end system, you can get it started for under $20,000.
That's much better than the 1 to 2 million that I was looking at before.
You got it. And the margins are very good on content because we are a WISP ourselves.
Okay.
So we understand where we have to be competitively with the cable company and DirecTV to be able to get those customers. So you can price your retail somewhere below what they're currently charging for a similar channel package and still make margins in the 30 to 35% range.
Yeah, and then at those times you can take people that, well, I really hate AT&T or Comcast, but you know, I need video, and DirecTV is really AT&T anymore. So now you can be completely, offer a competitive offering across the board, and take those people that just really hate those companies.
And we know they already love you because you're the WISP. And what's not to love? So, there you go.
Well, thank you for your time, sir.
All right, thank you.